February 5th. I'm going to draw my levels and record this video. I'll probably refine these a little bit after, but I was called out that it'd be useful to have a little bit of explanation with this weekly plan. So that's what we're going to do. So first thing we're going to do is go to the monthly. Sorry, I'm not going to go to the monthly. That's a little too big. We're starting on the weekly. We'll actually go to the monthly. So look at the monthly. Cool. Downtrend, obviously, clear rejection here right off the bottom of this wick and the closing of those two. So we'll do a level there. I like to do my levels in green. A little bit bigger. And we have a very clear level forming here, interestingly, on the monthly. So I will do a level here. That'll probably show up elsewhere, but that's fine. We're going to go to the daily. And let's see what we have on the daily. So there's a few shapes that I'm going to call out that maybe you can't see. So after this breakout here, we have the base of this triangle or expanding megaphone, right? So if I draw both sides of this triangle here, I'm going to put it at the top of these candles in this area. And then we would also have this here. So this here is that triangle that I was calling out. Broke down to the downside. And then we came back up here. So there was this price action, which was interesting, right? We bounced off this level, continuing higher and higher. Then we broke down to the downside, which was an interesting breakout. Consolidated down here off of this level. So I kind of want to find the best place. I'm going to put it off of this rejection here to put a level there. These levels are going to be very similar to levels that I've had previously. We're going to put another macro level up here. And we're going to put a level down here in this zone. Cool. So these are my primary pivot points just on the daily. We have one here. We have another. If you look at the closing, right? Quite a few rejections here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels so far. We do want one above to show where we've rejected, right? Rejected here. So we'll put one in this area, coming around through here. One thing I want to call out, right? So these levels, some of them are down to the penny. Some of them, you'll notice, this is a really good example, right? Not down to the penny. This is a price zone, right? Same up here. Very clear rejections here, broke through it, still came down. Price zone. I haven't put on the fixed range volume profile yet, but when I do, we're going to get a very clear picture of why. So let's put on the fixed range volume profile. This shows me volume at prices. And what do you know? The POC, right? The point of control, the price where we had the most volume was this 39.66 level here for this arbitrary date range that I've selected. I'm actually going to modify this. There's a little bit of an art and a dance here. Some people do a fixed range of like 20 or so sessions. This is way more than 20 days. This is going back to Friday, the 22nd of April. I'm doing it based off of this range of price here, right? So I want to figure out within this range of price that we haven't broken out of yet, right? We're approaching the top of this range. When was the last time we were in this range of price, right? I could even go further back to here perhaps, but I don't want to include this volume above just yet. We will include that in a second, right? And I always layer these on top of each other, by the way. So if you're like, well, why don't you do it here? I literally, if you ever see me, we'll have 3 or 4 of these layered on top of each other in different time frames, right? But for now, we're just going to focus on this. We see the POC is here, right? Think of the POC as a magnet, right? This is where the most people have participated in the market. And we can see around the POC how it gets choppy, right? Let's see how choppy the market is around here, how the levels kind of get a little bit wacky, right? This volume node here that I have as a rejection level, very big volume node. Then we have a little volume gap in between. And then right through the POC, we do have this level here, but it's pretty choppy, right? This volume node, this is a really solid level, right? So this level matches up Look, we just barcoded right through it, right with this high volume area. And then up here, we're approaching this volume gap. These volume gaps tend to be pretty big rejection zones, right? This volume profile in general is kind of a bearish volume profile, right? Most of the liquidity is in the lower side of this area. So we'll actually just leave that one there, and let's draw another one just so you can all see what I mean. So we'll do this one, and we're gonna go a little bit further back. So even if we go further back, right, we can see that the POC is still down here. There is this volume up here from back in January of 22, so almost a year ago. So if we pop all the way up here, I mean, this is 4,600. This is at the top of the market, right? So we're in full-on bull mode. This level here is kind of what we would have to take out for us to even approach, ever, get close to any of these levels. But we can still see here that most of the market participation is lower. It's far lower, right? And that goes way, way back historically. I'm not going to do the volume profile there, but most of it is lower, right? So we're up here, some participation came in, but the POC is still down below. So let's come into a more recent time frame. Let's go to this area, and let's look where volume and price is, because we want to get a few more levels in here, right? So we have this high volume node here. There is a high volume area down here, about 3860. So I'm going to do a level here. I'm going to do this one. It's a little bit of a thinner line. We're still on the daily, actually, and I guess this is close enough of a level. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, this looks like a level there. We have that marked. This looks like a rejection zone here. So I'm looking at these nodes, this node which failed here. I do want another fixed range volume profile. Let's go back a few days, and I want another fixed range volume profile going back to here. So we have the POC of this area here. This one is down here. A lot of volume off of these nodes. See the POC point of control coming right off of where this rejected here. That is not by chance. What we're gonna actually do though, and how I'll update these levels is, might end up with more levels than I like, but that's fine. As the market either respects or does not respect each level, I will add or remove them. And you will also see when the market opens, I will do lines like this. I'll do option J, right, which these come out in white. I do those for dynamic levels. So once we carve out a pre-market level, it's currently 3:40, 6 o'clock. The market's going to open for ES, right? Whatever it goes to in the pre-market, the pre-market highs and lows, I'm going to denote those in white as my dynamic levels. And we'll just get rid of that. So that's good enough for me for now, right? My primary targets for now, based off of what we saw on the volume profile in the higher time frame, is up here at 4,300, and we'll stay on the 4-hour. So up here at 4,300, right, we're going to want to take that out, redraw this. 4,300, right, there's a volume gap up here. We're probably going to bounce off of this, right? So if we get up to this level, my plan, people are asking, what should we do when we get up here? I am looking for a short at this area. Next time we approach this area, 42.97, right? 43.29 is the peak here. This entire area, you might eat some red if you front run, but certainly if we get to the top here, right, this volume gap, I'm taking short, right? Now, we might blow through it, but I'm taking a short, right? It's a high probability downside trade right there. I'm going short. My other target is the POC. The POC on this time frame, 39.66, which is what, 180 points under where we are right now, right? Solid trade, right? So if I see downside, my next near-term target is first this POC at 40.32, then my next POC at 39.66 on the larger time frames, right? Within the day, right, ES tends to move about 100 points on really strong days. So if we go down 100 from 41.46 to 40.46, that'll put us around this volume node. You don't have to measure like this. This is just me reasoning through it, right? So within 100 points plus or minus 50 points, right? What can we take out? Well, we have this liquidity down here, which we could take out. There is a big fair value gap here, which we could take out, right? That's just price imbalance. If you're worried about what a fair value gap is, it's just this area where no bar has hooked in this bar. I'm not going to do a whole explanation on that, but this area here is pretty good fair value gap, and it's very close to where we are in price. So I can see a quick return down here. Maybe we snipe out this liquidity, bounce off of this level, and maybe that's tomorrow's action, right? And then after tomorrow, we continue. So basically what I'm saying is we come down, right? We bounce, and then we come down to this level, right? That could be the move, or either today and tomorrow, or sorry, pre-market Monday, and then Tuesday down to here, or we full on reject. They say, heck, nope, we're gonna go here, up, down, up into this higher level, right? And that would be us taking out this area. So that's how I think about the levels, right? There's no way to predict the future, guys. This is not about predicting the future. This is about seeing where the magnets are, where's price going to go. So if we break out here, I'm looking for my magnet. I'm looking for a trade to 40.88. Then once we get to 40.88, I'm out. Then I'm going to see where we go. I'm probably going to take, if we have really negative CVD, right, pressure, then I'll take another trade to the downside, right? But once we get here, look at all these checkups that were here, right? I'm not looking for us to just fly through this level. I'm expecting us to check up here, right? Put money on that, literally put money on that. Same thing here, right? If we come down to this level, look at all these checkups here, right? We're not going to just blow through it, right? We've already, bounced off of it on Friday's close. Same for every single level here. Will I miss some levels? Yes, 100%. I will miss levels. I'll get better at doing this. I highly recommend you guys practice doing this yourself as well. Draw these, compare them to mine. If you have thoughts where I can improve mine, let me know. They are not perfect, but this is what I trade off of, 100% what I trade off of. So if you're curious about my decision making, when I say level to level trading, this is what I mean. Do not trade in no man's land. So many people will take these trades in no man's land, right? Buy calls at the bottom. So if we hit this is a relative bottom to where we are. We're at 41.46. Get to this level, that's a relative bottom to where we are in price. I'm looking for calls, or I'm looking for a long here. Then you go short at the top, right? Say we get to 42.09, I'm taking puts. I'm going short, right? That's how I do it. Maybe you're wrong, but we don't know that. The only thing we can do is use the edge that's in our favor, right? And that's what I'm looking for. There's some ICT concepts I've started using around fair value gaps, order blocks, things like that. We're not going to talk about that in this video. Anyways, hope this helped, guys. Yeah, post any questions you have in the chat, and I will answer them.